Baby, when I look in your eyes, I can see you as a child. The river gives us every good thing, and then it takes it all away. Don't take me away from you. Don't take me away from you. I feel like I knew you then, when I was a little boy. I spent my days imagining the shape.
スープも美味しいんだと思う。
I know it's not a weapon, it's not a game to me, but I have so much power in my sensuality. Will you engage this fiery chase? Do you mind getting hot? Come to me and show me what you've got. I know we have a friendship, so the stakes are high, but that's the fun in romance, right? You just gotta try. And in this space we can embrace, it's what I ought to do. The boys I passed to wait for you.
はい。
Mm-hmm.
faith and dollar beer, so I can say I wasn't here. Hope we're drunk enough to cover up the day. We'll watch the singles fight the time as they try desperately to find a body warm enough to keep the night alive. There's ancient movies on the wall and cigarettes for quick withdrawals. We'll break the ice to laugh it all away. Strangers in the tired light will share the story of their lives as we make up a version of our own. Oh, what do you say? Forget the words of our day to day. Oh no, what do you mean? The world will stop as we spin our dreams. Oh no, 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 no. Berry green with fingertips that only keep whatever sticks. Pockets wide, believing more would be the fix. We turn our feelings into stones, throw them into waves alone, cast them far away from anywhere we'd know. Boots and heels crowd the floor through puddles of the alcohol and run another round of games they play. The tender makes his nightly call and chatter in the bathroom stall will tell themselves they meet another day. Oh, what do you say? Forget the words of our day to day. Oh no, what do you mean? The world will stop as we spin our dreams. Oh no, no. Graffiti on a wall of bricks and broken bottles just for kicks. Jokers on the side for every call. We're closing tabs but nothing wrong to drink or either play along as we make plans to one day see it all. Oh, what do you say? Forget the words of our day to day. Oh no, what do you mean? The world will stop as we spin our dreams. Oh no.
Spells around me speak of a boy. They've met him before, hidden in castle walls, finds he'll be close. Looks great for sure. Skilled in his manners, brave in his tone, he can do it all. Gifts in his chamber, all from afar. Still he feels alone. sparrow then sings of a girl in the forest. Lay